New Mexico Rattler is the signature attraction at Cliffs Amusement Park. This is easily the best coaster in New Mexico, but not a lot of coaster enthusiasts find themselves in Albuquerque. And that really is a shame, because this coaster is great. It has to be one of the most underrated wood coasters in the world. I will explain why in this review. Starting in the 1990s, the owners of Cliffs began envisioning a large roller coaster at their park. By the early 2000s, Albuquerque's population had grown enough to justify the expenditure. In early 2002, the park announced a wood coaster named New Mexico Rattler. This will be built by Custom Coasters International, or CCI. For the prior decade, they were the go-to manufacturer for small to mid-sized amusement parks that wanted a wood coaster. They offered exciting and dynamic wood coasters for a relatively low price point. For example, New Mexico Rattler cost just $2 million. That business model ultimately doomed the company, though. This ended up being CCI's final coaster. They filed for bankruptcy mid-construction, leaving Cliffs with a partially built coaster. To finish it, the park hired 17 employees directly from CCI onto their payroll. The ride was originally scheduled to open in the summer of 2002, but the construction delays caused the ride to open in late September 2002, at the very end of Cliffs' season. Still, it was impressive the park was able to complete the project given the roadblocks they faced, and it has served as the park's signature attraction ever since. While the track is all wood, the support structure is steel. This was common with several of CCI's later coasters, and it made a lot of sense here because part of the coaster spans over pathways. This coaster is highly visible because it covers a majority of the park, and it adds so much energy whenever it cycles. The first half is on full display for the main road to draw in guests. The first turnaround passes over the park's kids area. Then the ride's two helixes wrap around the park's two tower rides, which is such a neat visual on either ride. Then the entrance is really neat. It is stylized as a fresco with the ride's cool looking logo painted onto it. This coaster is just one PTC train, which is fine for the crowds this park sees. The train seats a max of 24 riders per cycle, as there are 6 cars with 2 rows of 2. Dispatches were on the slower side due to the load procedures. The employees would do 2 separate passes for the restraint checks. Pass 1 would check the seatbelt, and Pass 2 would check the lap bar. This meant a train would go out every 5 to 6 minutes on average. A lot of parks do these checks together to expedite loading. I visited on a summer Saturday, so it was one of the park's busier days. Despite that, the coaster was never more than a 1 to 2 train wait, as long as you were not picky where you sat. You see, the queue is set up quite a bit differently from most coasters. Immediately after entering the queue, there are 3 separate lanes, one for the front car, one for the back car, and one for all other rows. Physically, the queues were all roughly the same length, and from what I saw, people were filling them evenly. This meant the front and back car lane would move significantly slower because it'd each take 4 riders per train, whereas the middle lane would take quadruple that with 16 riders. By the afternoon, the front and back car lanes were typically 5 to 8 trains deep, which equated to a 30 to 45 minute wait. Alternatively, you could just go in the second to back car or the second to front car in just 5 to 10 minutes. That was far more efficient, and the forces didn't feel radically different there. If you are visiting on a busier day and want to try the very front or back, my advice is to head there immediately after the park opens. These 2 queues were relatively short for that first hour. There is not a bad seat in this coaster. Every seat offers fantastic laterals. The front has the single strongest airtime moment on the ride, but the back has better airtime overall, so ladder was my preferred place to sit. Now, if you are sensitive to roughness, I would try to avoid a wheel seat or the very back of a car. These seats had more of a shimmy to them. Overall, I found this coaster tolerable. I wouldn't call it rough, but it's not super smooth either. I did notice the train shook more as the day progressed and the ride heated up, so keep that in mind. The smoothest part of the ride was the first helix, which recently received some pre-cut track from the Gravity Group. If this is the route the park will go for any future retracks, that bodes well for this ride's long-term prospects. Once seated, riders are secured by a seatbelt and individual L-shaped lap bar. The employees interestingly don't physically touch the seatbelt in most cases, they just visually confirm it's fastened, but they will tighten if you ask. They would physically check the lap bars though. These are similar to other PTC Woodies. They're not my favorite restraints, but they're fine. Once secured, you turn slightly right out of the station and ascend the 80-foot or 24-meter tall lift hill. Two interesting visual things about it. One, the railings are different. The left side is a wood railing, while the right side is a steel railing. Two, there are a handful of flags towards the top. It is reminiscent of what you see in Holiday World's wood coasters. You get a nice view of the park and the ascent. Then at the very top, you get a gorgeous view overlooking the mountains. Then, the action begins. There's a steep swooping drop right. Those in back get good floater and lateral simultaneously for the entire drop. Those further up in the train don't get the airtime, and the laterals are more delayed, but they are equally as potent once they kick in. The pullout continues banking right, so you stay pinned sideways, and you're also charging through a tunnel, so the sense of speed is excellent. That gradual rightward turn continues on the following rise, so everyone remains pressed to the left side of the train. Those in front get some weak floater here as well. This leads to a leftward turnaround, so your body is chucked across the train. The laterals are particularly powerful in the front car, but they're strong no matter where you're sitting. This turnaround has two humps in it. The hump in the middle offers a little lift in front. Then the exiting hump offers okay floater in front. Those in back get way better airtime, as the straight drop off of it offers really nice floater. This leads to another tunnel. It contains a speed hill, which oddly is the weakest part in the ride. It is over in a flash at least. You're moving quick here, but it only offers a pinch of air in front. Fortunately, the following element is a return to glory. It is a banked rise up and to the left. This offers substantial laterals for all. Those in front get weak air over the top. Then those in back get their best air time in the ride. The drop offers great sustained flagector. Making it even better are the head choppers. You're enveloped by a sea of steel supports. Next is a speed hill. This offers a wild ejector pop in the front half of the train. It is the ride's single strongest airtime moment. The airtime is more like good flagector in the back half of the train, but as a trade-off, it is sustained a bit longer. The exit offers another excellent head chopper as you dive beneath a steel support. Then comes an elongated bunny hill banked to the left. This offers great laterals, particularly in the front because you're pushed into the element. Next is the first of two helixes. This one wraps around the Wind Rider's Starflyer. This is not a flat helix either. It banks down and up pretty severely. It offers super sustained laterals for all. I find them to be extra powerful in the back because you're yanked down the curved drop midway through it. That drop also heads into an underground tunnel, and the low point exerts really strong positive Gs for a wood coaster. This ride pulls over 3 Gs, and I believe that is where it occurs. The exit of the helix is this shallow slope downwards. It feels more like a ramp. Those in back get a smidge of lift here. More notably, the pullout banks right, once again offering solid laterals for all. This leads to back-to-back bunny hills. The first offers good floater in front. The second didn't do too much in the morning, but it offered okay floater once the ride was warmed up. In back, both humps offer decent floater. This leads to the second helix. This one wraps around the cliffhanger drop tower. This offers strong and very sustained laterals. I was pinned to the right side of the train for its entirety. You then head towards the brake run, but not before traversing this underbanked rightward turn. This offers one last solid lateral jolt. You then slam to a stop on the brakes, so you probably want to brace yourself for this. After a brief pause, you round a corner and return to the station, ending the 2,750 foot or 838 meter long experience. In terms of pacing, this coaster is excellent. It feels way faster than its posted speed of 47 miles per hour or 76 kilometers per hour. I think it's because almost every element offers good to great laterals. I spent more time pinned sideways than I spent sitting upright, so it definitely throws off your equilibrium. So, what would I rate New Mexico Rattler? I would give this coaster an 8.5 out of 10. This is a great wood coaster. It is one of the best out there for laterals, right up there with Holiday World's Legend in my opinion. The lats were strong and frequent. Then this coaster also throws in some nice airtime moments as well. The reason I docked 1.5 points was because it wasn't quite as smooth as some other woodies out there, and I typically prefer airtime over laterals, but that's a preference thing. The wood coasters I have ahead of this one specialize more in that department, but this is a must for those who like out-of-control rides with heavy laterals. I know this is not the easiest amusement park for coaster enthusiasts to visit, but this ride absolutely made the trip worth it for me. Those are my thoughts on New Mexico Rattler Cliffs Amusement Park. What are your thoughts on this coaster? Have you experienced it? Let me know down in the comments. If you enjoyed this review, I would appreciate it if you gave this video a like, and you considered subscribing, because there'll be a lot more roller coaster and amusement park videos here at Canopy Coaster. Thanks for watching.